truth, logic, common sense, that gut feeling, and yes, even a little psychoanalysis. As we are once again together, you and I. We are together again, you and I. OKJ is in Sumner County. I've been here all day. I'm going to be here tomorrow, but I came today because the docket said that there was going to be a motion hearing for Bullhorn Betty. And I felt like, I was going to come up here, find out how this judicial process works and all of that. Her hearing was scheduled for 2 p.m. I went back and I talked to the county clerk, and I said, what is this motion hearing all about? Because I assumed it was a motion hearing from her attorney, the defense attorney, wanting a motion to dismiss or something to that effect, or a motion for continuance or something like that. But I found out something very interesting that not a lot of people know, but the Rays are going to know. In fact, this motion was filed by the state, y'all. And it was a motion hearing to clarify intent. Now, what is that? Well, I pulled over a little bit. This guy, he was an attorney, a defense attorney in another courtroom. It wasn't very busy today. And I just asked him a question. I said, hey, I got a legal question for you. I said, if the state files a motion to clarify intent on a defendant, what does this mean? And the attorney told me that it's all about the state wanting to rebuff any defense attorney's attempts to say that Bullhorn Betty's intent was harmless, that there was nothing dangerous and all that, right? And the state wanted this motion to clarify intent so that they could rebuff it and say, no, okay, defense, you tell us why her intent was harmless or whatever. We're going to tell you why it isn't. And to sum it all up, when I talked to this defense attorney who was not even involved in any of this and didn't even know why I was asking the question, that defense attorney said if the state had a motion to clarify intent, it would concern that defense attorney. So I was like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna see a motion hearing on something that I've never heard of before. But lo and behold, as the time drew near, it came to my attention that they have reset this motion here, and they had 2 on the docket, one for today and one for tomorrow. Even the county clerk said, well, I have not seen anything reset, but in fact, it got reset. My opinion is maybe the state and the defense have talked things out, decided to just kind of put it all together in tomorrow's hearing. Or maybe that motion to clarify intent, when it was filed, the defense called up the state and said, this is where we stand. And if the state would have felt like they should have come in there and said otherwise, then they would have had that hearing today. So if you go on the public access docket there, yes, Bullhorn Betty's attorneys were supposed to meet with the state today in courtroom A. It didn't happen. They reset it for tomorrow at 10 a.m. So what did I do? Did I just up and walk out of there since I traveled up here to Gallatin? Folks, OKJ sat in the whole docket of this presiding judge. This judge is going to be dealing with this matter tomorrow. I just wanted to get a feel of it. He had to deal with everything from harassment to theft to DUI. One fella in there, he got put in jail for getting drunk and getting on a boat. I mean, there were all different kinds of cases. And I wanted to get a feel for that judge before tomorrow. And he seemed pretty level-headed. He seemed like he was very thorough. If there was something that wasn't right in a case, today I saw him demonstrate that he wanted to help either side out, being a neutral arbiter of justice, to get their, I guess, ducks in a row for future hearings if something was amiss. So it was really interesting. I also had some notes of today. Obviously, we know that she's facing 6 counts of violation of order of protection. And there were some orders of protection, also some violations of probations that came through today that was unrelated to her case. He seemed like he was going to lay the hammer down. Now, it's my opinion that the state, and I don't know who her attorney is, but they have to have talked, because there's no reason why they reset that for tomorrow unless they wanted to consolidate everything. But ultimately, this is a clue for OKJ, and that is, when we're talking about adjudication and we're talking about judicial process, I was wondering is, hey, they've charged this woman with 6 counts of violation of order of protection, and they're going to lay the hammer down on her, or are they going to lay the hammer down on her? Well, it seems initially the state was going to play hardball by doing this motion to clarify intent. And so, does this mean, because this hearing didn't happen, is it going to happen along with the first appearance hearing tomorrow at 10 a.m., all consolidated? Does this mean that Bullhorn Betty's attorneys will explain away what she's done? Does this mean that if the state is satisfied with her intent, that the state will dismiss the charges? But even if they do dismiss the charges against Bullhorn Betty, what are the court costs for all this? Because today, whether she was there or not, there was a case pending today. They reset it. How much is this all going to cost Bullhorn Betty? I know she's somewhere here in Sumner County at some hotel. Her counsel, I don't think there was any talk at all. I even was listening to the state and other attorneys talking today, trying to iron things out for their clients or whatever, and I never heard any mention of her. But I guess the bigger question is, what kind of precedent will tomorrow's hearing set? What kind of precedent for YouTubers, social media creators? If the case is dismissed against Bullhorn Betty, then will Bullhorn Betty become emboldened? She'll have that order of protection on her for a year, regardless of whether the charges are dismissed on her or not. And what about other creators on YouTube? Will they get the message if Tennessee lays the hammer down on her tomorrow? I mean, y'all, 1 count, a violation of order of protection, is a big deal. 6 counts? And from what I understand at their last hearing and all of that, where the detective was showing her actual message to a judge while they were still, when Bullhorn Betty left, who didn't show up to the hearing. It's very interesting to me, being who I am, to be able to walk into a courthouse, whether I could watch her process or not, to be able to look at other cases. And I highly recommend, if you get the opportunity, as the public at large, you should be able to go into any courtroom, unless it's a sealed hearing, and you should be able to sit and watch the adjudication process happen. The defense wants to say, and this is common sense, Bullhorn Betty's defense wants to say that her intent was harmless. The state, are they even going to talk? Are they going to give it the seriousness that she was charged with? Are they just going to say, well, she just didn't know? The The state filed the motion the day before the first appearance. So to me, it was showing that the state of Tennessee, the prosecutors here in Sumner County, are taking this very seriously. And again, a local defense attorney said that this motion to clarify intent would be something concerning for their client if something like that happened to them. So we know that they're ready. The Sumner County Courthouse is ready for whoever's going to show up tomorrow. Ultimately, when I went there, it wasn't super busy. It was a beautiful courthouse. I'll take some pictures and put them on the community wall. They were nice at first, but as soon as they security figured out that I told them I was there just to observe, they knew what I was there for without me having to tell them. They got a little sideways with me. They didn't say anything, but you could just sense it. They didn't like it. Well, they can kiss my country ass, because I have a right, just like any other American, to go sit in a courtroom all damn day if I want to. I'm sure there are going to be people that are going to show up tomorrow. By the way, I did a little shopping downtown today, waiting to go into the courthouse, because I got here a little early. And I talked to a few people, locals, and they know all about Bullhorn Betty, and they also know the case of Sebastian Rogers. And just as I theorized, nobody likes people coming in from other states and calling our state corrupt and all this and that. There's a lot of people that I talk to that know exactly who this woman is, and my hope is that this judge makes an example of her, give her some community service, let her understand that, maybe she can get her subscribers to pay her legal fees and court costs. But I guarantee you this, she's already on the hook for Katie and Christopher Proudfoot's legal fees. I don't know how much their attorneys are going to charge her. And her own attorney is from Hendersonville. She got a local attorney here. I know nothing about these people. But I'm going to be absolutely in courtroom A tomorrow. And I'm going to make sure to observe and write down everything that I see, and I will get back with all of y'all. So with that said, leave your comments. If you got any questions for me, put them in the rewatch comments or whatever. And I shot a video instead of live stream because I just kind of wanted to wrap this up. There wasn't a whole lot done today, but I did get a chance to see how this judge is going to be. He seemed pretty level-headed, but hard-nosed. And, we'll just see what happens. So, I told y'all I was considering coming down here, and I'm here. Wayne's going to meet me later. We're going to go out to dinner, have a nice evening out. Maybe do a little more shopping, get up tomorrow, be at that court hearing. And I'll share it all with you, Ray. So everyone have a good evening and keep on looking.